Good evening, everybody. I'm Andrew Forrest. I bring you guys greetings from the Office of Undergraduate Admissions, where I currently stand as the Senior Admissions Recruiter Coordinator of Community Partnerships, and also Secondary Campus Advisor for Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Zeta Tau Chapter.
Hello, everybody. My name is Darian Meredith. I'm currently the president of the Zeta Tau Chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated.
And the reason why we're both here tonight is to seek funding and support for the 12th Annual Senior Day with the Alphas program that's set to take place on March 24th, 2018. The goal of the program, basically, it started with the initiative back in spring of 2007. What can we do to help the Office of Undergrad Admissions and also Enrollment Management increase enrollment amongst the university? And so back then, a gentleman by the name of Rodney Baker, who some of you guys may be familiar with, started this initiative. And so we basically bring high school students from the Dallas area that have been accepted to the university to give them a day filled of educational seminars and also social and fun activities to not only get them acclimated to the university, but the end goal is to eventually have them enroll and have their 4 years of college spent at Texas A&M University Commerce. What we're requesting in terms of funding is a total of $19,000. That $19,000 will be split amongst a number of ways. First off, transportation for the students to get here, which is outlined on page 3 of your book in the packet that we passed out. Also, $1,500. We give them and that will go towards t-shirts. We give them a t-shirt once they get here that has a senior day logo, the year changes, and then also, of course, we usually have a motivational speaker. In the past, we have used Jonathan Sprinkles. He's an author, TV personality, and one of the top keynote speakers in the United States. The last remaining $10,000 would be used to go towards the Step Show prize money, in which we have a variety of step teams come out and compete, and then also the Step Show host. It provides a celebrity presence at the event. In the past, as it states, we've had Alex Thomas, most recently Tony Roberts, and in the past we've also had Robert Powell and Red Grant. So I'm going to turn it over to LD to tell how it ties in with the mission of the university.
But basically, ways that this program supports the mission statement of the university is basically we get the chance to be up and personal with these students, and so we get a day filled of just being basically their, I want to say, their friend. You know what I mean? We give them the real life experience of the university, the real life experience of the day-to-day college life, and then it also gives them the ability, to allocate resources that they might not get to get, once they get on the university. So they get them much quicker than other people would probably get them, and so it gives them the chance to, meet people. So once they actually get to the school, or unless they actually enroll, they'll basically, have these people's information. They can go out and reach them, and actually contact them if they need anything, they need any help with anything. And basically, it just gives them an ability, to, just have these resources for their time coming once they get on the university.
Definitely. And then over these past years, we've definitely measured the matrix in terms of the number of attendees we've had ever since spring of 2007. Based on numbers from spring of 07 all the way up to spring of 2016, we've had approximately 792 students attend this event over those years, and approximately 51.5% of those students have actually enrolled from this event. So it's definitely helped to increase in the areas where needed, of course, with the help of not just somebody working in admissions, but also the help of the enrollment management department. This has definitely helped us to really provide a successful event that's been going on for the last 11, going on 12 years.
Okay, they're ready for questions.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I guess I'll start out just to clarify. So you're seeking funding for your senior day, but then included within that, you've also got funding for the Step Show. So are senior day and the Step Show one and the same, or are they two distinct events?
So basically how it works is that the senior day and Cold War event is basically kind of one and the same. It's a twofold process. There's a recruitment enrollment aspect with the senior day where the kids are coming down, and then of course the retention aspect, it still kind of ties in with not just the future students, but also current students. The Step Show provides a social outlet for students that are already here at Commerce, just to kind of give them something to do on the weekend. And then also, it's that outlet that just kind of gives the future students, like, hey, these are the people that you could potentially know if you become a student here. This is what you can expect if you actually enroll in your fall semester in the year in which you graduate. So in all honesty, the program is really kind of one and the same. It's mainly an all-day avenue for the prospective and current students.
And then to the step show, do you charge admission for that?
We do charge admission. We do not charge the students that are coming in from Dallas, the high school students. They're basically, all expenses are paid in exchange for their attendance.
And then the revenue you do get from the step show, what does that go to?
That actually goes to a chapter account. So basically, this is our philanthropy in a sense that the chapter does put on. So revenue that is made from the step show is deposited into a checking and savings account that the fraternity operates.
And how much revenue do you generate annually from the step show?
It varies. Typically anywhere from about maybe $15,000 to $20,000.
15 to 20,000.
How much of that revenue is going towards your philanthropy?
So really, in a sense, what we do is it funds a number of things. We go to 3 conventions a year. We go to our state convention, regional convention, and national convention, in which members of the fraternity do run for various offices, such as regional vice president, assistant district director. It basically allows them to be connected with other members of the organization, both on the state, regional, and national level. Not only that, there are various programs that the fraternity does put on, both within a regional, state, and sometimes national level as well. So it basically goes toward, just us being successful on a conference standpoint, and then of course, making sure that things are on the up and up when it comes to relations of the fraternity.
I'd like some clarification on that. She asked, where did the money go in terms of your philanthropy? You said that the money from the step show went to your philanthropy, and she said, what philanthropy do you do? And you said you go to conferences with that.
Basically, and then of course that, it also helps us to fund our national programs. Our national programs include our Go to High School, Go to College initiative, in which we basically push for secondary education amongst students. We also have what's called Project Alpha. Project Alpha is basically a program in which we tell people how important it is to practice safe sex and abstinence. We also have Voteless People as a Hopeless People, basically educating people on the importance of what it means to go out and vote.
Do these events happen on the same day, so senior day, and then you have the step show at the end, or are they
That is correct, yes ma'am. One of the things that did change this past year, we moved everything up in terms of the schedule. Typically, the students will leave the Dallas area at 11 a.m. They'll arrive at the campus at about 12. And then, of course, they go straight into the senior day program. They'll receive a welcome from me, and then, of course, the current administration, whoever the president is, and then the key people from various departments around campus will talk. And then we'll have a motivational speaker that talks for about 30 to 35 minutes. After the motivational speaker ends, we'll transition into like a modified campus tour. Then we'll have like a pep rally. So the pep rally is the more social. We'll feed them, grease stroll off. Various organizations will come, and then of course they transition to go to the step show. So it's all in the same day, yes ma'am.
So you've got $5,000 for your motivational speaker that only speaks for a half hour?
That's correct. That is
Is that like kind of the going rate, or could you find someone that would be less expensive?
Yeah, well, that particular person that we have been using is, that was his fee that he normally charged. That definitely is something that we can look at revisiting to definitely save revenue in that particular area. It doesn't necessarily have to be somebody that's well-renowned, but just anybody that, is a working professional and can share some light to motivate the kids. We could definitely revisit that. Yes, ma'am.
For the t-shirts, how many students usually receive the t-shirts?
So-
and how much are the t-shirts each?
The t-shirts, for example, this past year, the t-shirts were $1,496.70. There was a shipping and handling fee. There's a company that we work with called Holding Custom Products. He gave us a quantity of 150 shirts. The brothers that are in the chapter will wear the t-shirts. The students that come for the event wear the t-shirts. And then also, if we seek any volunteers for the event, they will wear the t-shirts as well.
Do the step teams pay to compete?
Do the step teams pay me? Yes, they do.
How much is that? How much do they pay?
They pay just a deposit of $100.
$100? How many teams do you have?
It really varies. This year, for example, we had I think it was it 5?
We had about 4 or 5 teams that
Four or
competed
five.
this year.
And we would have had I guess say about one more, but some dropped out
Mm-hmm.
and everything. So yeah, it was about 5 teams.
What if you increase the fee for them to compete and have 100% payback? You might not get up to $5,000. And the only reason, and I hate being the bad guy, but we're in, serious budget
Yeah, I
cuts.
understand. Yeah.
And so we're talking to everybody about, okay, so, and here's the question, this is I forget whose question, they asked us, if you had to cut something, what would you cut?
Will.
Pardon?
That's
Is it Will's question?
that's my general
I
go-to
couldn't remember,
question,
so
yeah.
we'll go with
Will's
Will.
question
You have
is
the
gone
floor.
now.
So, alright, so solving my question this way, as you're probably aware, the state legislature is looking at cutting the university by anywhere between $2 and $6 million over the next biennium. So if you had to cut something from this request, what would it be?
I would honestly say.
I would honestly say we would revisit the motivational speaker, because like this lady in yellow stated, we would definitely probably need to revisit that, because it doesn't take somebody that's well renowned to give motivation to kids that are pursuing secondary education.
Are there any alum that you could reach out to who would?
Most definitely.
speak to?
Typically, one of the things that we did, not this past year, but last year, we actually had one of our alums. His name was Quincy Jones. He actually crossed into the fraternity fall 2005. So he's actually somebody that I actually reached out to and said, hey, would you mind providing some insight on your career and seek and just kind of give out a little motivation. So we definitely can reach out to alums or somebody else that's in the fraternity that wouldn't mind driving down an hour from Dallas and sharing their thoughts and insight. Yes, ma'am.
So based off of the revenue that y'all potentially make from this this event, how much of that goes to your state, regional, and national conventions?
So with the state convention, of course, we have to register our delegate strength. So the delegate strength is met based on the number of people that are in the chapter. So of course, you have to cover the registration, which in turn, covers different things such as the sessions, the luncheons, and then of course the same with the regional convention. Anytime we induct the neophytes are required and mandatory to actually attend those conventions. And the same thing with the national level. It basically increases in terms of funding those trips year in and year out. So actual estimate, I couldn't give you that exact amount because honestly, it changes every year based on the delegate strength.
Could you give us an idea what you spent last year on that?
Probably at least maybe in the range of maybe 2,500, 3,000. Okay.
Thank you.
If you need a rough exact estimate, I can try and get that.
No, I mean, ballpark's good for me.
Okay.
On the breakdown, I see that you have $5,000 listed for prize money. And I guess to someone in here, are we allowed to give out money for prize money if it's not going to someone who benefits, who's a student at this university? So teams who don't live in this area.
I can check into that. It's something that's they've traditionally done. I don't know if anyone's ever asked that question, to be honest with you.
I think the perspective is, because the student service fees are actually going to promote the STEP performances, which provides a pretty rich cultural experience. So it does provide a service to students. That's how I would interpret
But
it.
I think the understanding is it's taboo to give out a cash prize at any point for any event using SSF money.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Tina Republic could speak to
Yeah,
that, but you could even get into the
Yeah.
That's what
realm
I'll
of
check with.
legalities and
Yeah.
being in something dark. One thing I wanted to address is, it seems like on senior day, you're benefiting a lot of future students, but the way that the education code is written, it's for student services, students at this institution. So how is senior day benefiting students here when your primary target audience is future students, not current students?
Understood. I think basically with that, it's beneficial to current students because it allows them to just kind of eventually build maybe a mentor-mentee type relationship. For example, let's say if a student attended senior day, let's say spring 2016, enrolled fall of 16, and then served as a volunteer for spring 2017, they could see a student that was, maybe just like them in a variety of ways, both academically and socially. They could kind of build that mentor-mentee type relationship. So really, not only do future students get connected with the campus resources, they can find somebody that was, like I said, just like them in terms of transitioning from high school to college, and they can kind of have that mentor-mentee type relationship to start off.
And at the same time, of course, we're in the fraternity, but we're students as well. And so we build those relationships with those students that come down here, to view the campus and everything. And so we build those relationships so that when they eventually enroll, they can call on us as mentors. They can call on us if they ever need anything, any resources or any, members, anything, somebody to help them.
How many students that you bring from Dallas end up enrolling?
Yes, so, we haven't measured the matrix for this current year. Last year, out of 85 students that attended, we had 40 students enrolled.
I think that was on the flyer too, wasn't it?
Yes, we
Yeah.
had about 41% of those students enrolled.
Okay, we're out of time. Unfortunately, we're out of time, sorry.
It's cool.
Jazzy.
Right, it's cool.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Thank y'all, appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you.